So let's just ground ourselves wherever we are in the space we're occupying in the room. You can choose to soften the gaze or close your eyes and just listen to my voice. Shift our awareness to the breathing in through the nostrils and out through the mouth, or nostrils, it's up to you. Whatever feels natural to you this morning. Feel the earth beneath you, all the contact surface from your mat, cushion, floor. Feeling the sensation that the earth holds you back. So you're yielding into the earth while earth holds you securely in the space you occupy. Feel the sky up above you. The abundance of the sky with full of possibilities. You stay still like a mountain, deep into the earth, while the peak reaching towards the sky. Observe the sensation of the breath and the rhythm and the texture of the breath as well. Is it even? Can you notice that gentle pause on the bottom of exhalation and top of inhalation? Is it shallow, deep? Is it fast, slow? Allow your whole body and breath to arrive in this moment. It's an invitation to ask a question. Why are you here this morning? What's your intention for this practice? That's uniquely yours. It's your why. Throughout the session, I will cue our attention to grounding into our intention, whilst our awareness may focus on the breath or the parts of our body that's under tension. So this is the beauty, the dance between intention and attention in yoga, or every form of yoga, or everything we do, that whilst we perhaps may be focusing intensely on the details of the matter or thought or the task, that one foot is securely grounded in our intention. So we're tethered to our core being whilst we invest in the external world. So that's the beauty of practicing yoga, that we develop this awareness and agility, but also the groundedness that keeps us tethered in the present moment when things could be overwhelming. I invite you to come into a kneeling position. It's your body, so you know what position suits you. For me, I tend to be quite stiff with my quads. So if I don't have a supported cushion in between the leg to sit on, I may experience more intense discomfort. But it looks like my body it's pretty warmed up already for some reason this morning. So whatever you're choosing, you can put a bolster and a cushion between the leg, or sitting on your tailbone, put a cushion between your heels and coccyx. So we're going to start by practicing. I don't know if you've heard about the 3 parts Taoist breath. It's the integration between movement and breath that invites prana, the natural vital energies around nature and also in your body to start to flow through us and to harness this energy that gives us vitality, but at the same time brings balance as well. So you can watch me and listen to my voice in cueing. We're going to do this quite a few times. The movement in the beginning may be, try to follow up with the my movement, but eventually your body will start to adapt to the pose we're in. So relax your hands beside you. Take a deep breath. Raise your arm above your head, maybe looking up. Exhale, put your hands behind your head and push the walls apart. Inhale, palm facing upwards, fingertips to the shoulders. Exhale, push the wall in front of you and around your shoulders and tuck your chin. Inhale, turn your palm up and raise all the way to the ceiling and maybe looking up. Exhale, fall forward to your child's pose. That's one round. Inhale, arms raised by the side. Exhale, palms behind the head, push the walls apart. Inhale, fingertips shoulder. Exhale, push the wall in front of you around your shoulders and tuck your chin. Inhale, palms raised. Exhale, child's. Inhale, arms raised. Maybe you can choose to close your eyes, just listen to my voice cueing and get deeper in the experience. Exhale, hands behind the head, push the walls apart. Inhale, fingertips shoulder. Exhale, push forward, round your back. Inhale, palms turning up, raise your hands to the ceiling and look up. Exhale, child's. Inhale, arms raised. Exhale, push the wall apart. Inhale, fingertips shoulder. Exhale, push forward, round your back. Inhale, fingertips lifting up to the ceiling. Exhale, child's. A couple more times on your own. When you are ready to come to your last round, make sure that's the most mindful round of this series. When you come to the child's pose, stay there. Stay in your child's. What's that experience like with the Tao's 3 parts breath? Would it be useful in some real life situations if you find benefit from this practice? What's the sensation like in the child's pose? What does your body tell you? Is there the stress from the lower back, lumbar? Can you feel the compression between the soft tissue of your abdomen and your upper thigh? Is your neck relaxed and elongated? Do you need more support of your forehead to maybe clasp your elbows and rest your elbow, rest your forehead on the elbow, or even a cushion? That's when we develop the ability to discern, to discriminate different parts of our body and their sensations. In Sanskrit, we call it viveka. That when we develop this sort of heightened awareness in our body, mind, and situations, we are able to discern, tapping into the intuition, what's the most likely beneficial action that we can take, or no action at all. Intention, attention, discernment. When you're ready, very slowly coming out of child's pose to sitting on the kneeling position. Swing your legs to one side and sitting your buttock down on the mat. Straightening your legs in front of you, creating a diamond shape, what we call a butterfly in the yoga pose. For me, my personal preference, my biology, prefers a cushion on the tailbone that props my pelvis into an anterior rotation that allows me to isolate the sensation on my lower back, the lumbar spine, because I've got quite tight hamstrings on the proximal end. So, but whatever your body feels like, and you'll find that the soles of my feet are relatively together, and the heels are fair distance from my body. That will allow the traction and stress from my adductor muscle, as well as my lumbar spine. Whilst if you tuck your heels in, you will probably enhance that sort of stretching sensations from your adductor muscle. But really, I want to create a sensation. My intention is to create a more sensation to stress the lumbar spine to build strength and flexibility, and the whole back fascia as well. So once you're ready to ease into the pose, allow the gravity to take you forward. You can slide your hand down your chins. Depends on how flexible are you. Maybe your palms can meet the mat. Just come to your first edge. The mid back and the cervical spine maybe naturally relax and start to curve down with the gravity and the weight of your head. If the sensation will allow you to go there and comfortable, do so. If flexing the neck is uncomfortable, you can always use your hands to prop up your chin so your head can stay neutral. Your choice. We're going to stay here in a while. What's our intention in this pose? Perhaps adding stress on the lumbar spine with the intention to strengthen the tissue, the cartilages, even the bones.
What's our attention doing? When we shift our awareness to our lumbar spine, what does it feel like? Is it dull, achy, but not sharp? Or tingling or burning? But if you feel sharp or tingling or burning, you can always ease back. Or even coming out of the pose, so you have the ability to discern and make choice in this moment. If your body allows you today to get deeper in the pose, just stay in it. Explore your edges of your body and maybe soften into the edge or even slowly back out of the edge. When you're ready to ease out this pose slowly, maybe palms can push the mat and push the body slowly back up. Maybe palms can walk along the shins and thighs to prop up back to the sitting position. Release your legs. Feet can be contact with the mat as wide as a mat. You can choose some movement like windshield wipers to undulate this movement. Maybe a little bridge is acceptable from doing that, or simply just straighten your leg, maybe shake it out, or just enjoy a level of stillness. There's no fixed principle that the rebound needs to be completely still. The purpose of the rebound is to just allow the tissue to ease of the stress we're creating and adapt and integrate. We're going to do another four-fold to aid the flexion of your lumbar spine. It's called caterpillar pose. So the legs are relatively straight in front of you. Because personally, got tight hamstring, I always started with a little flexion of my knees. I'm still sitting on a cushion to encourage that anterior tilt of the pelvis. So this is quite a comfortable position for me. But if you're naturally flexible with your hamstring, you don't need to pop a bolster or towels below your knee. If you can naturally reach your toes, this is probably not the option for you. So you can slide your dorsum of the hand and slowly to the forearm. So your spine are naturally flexing. Again, the intention is very similar to the previous diamond-shaped butterfly, is to stress the ligaments and soft tissues and the lumbar spine to elongate. In yin pose, it's less about getting into the ideal aesthetics. Like a lot of yang pose, like your warriors, to get into that right alignment. In yin is more about allowing the shape to happen and allowing our attention to shift to observe the sensations of the parts of body that we intend to stress. It's this allowing and surrendering that is the hallmark of yin yoga. And when we start practicing yin first thing in the morning, when the tissues are relatively cool in your muscles, that once you reach your edge, that your soft tissue, your muscles are already under tension, that you may apply more stress to the deeper connective tissue like your fascia, your ligaments and cartilage, bones. So you're working on the more deeper part of the tissues, in contrast with some yang style of Vinyasa. Maybe you are building up strength or flexibility in the muscle belly. And whilst yin is to work on the parts of body that you don't get to work on. The same manner, when we come out from every yin pose, slowly, with the support of your hands, propping your body in an upright position. When I say slow, it's not fast at all. There's no rush from one thing to another. Just enjoy the in-between poses and that nourishment or blood flow into the parts of body that's under compression or stress. Again, into the rebound pose, so you can do the windshield wipers, or just allow to ease of the sort of stress of your lumbar spine by reclining a little bit, shifting your foot from left to right, some movement of your hip joints, or just stay still. Since we've done a couple of lumbar flexion poses, we're going to go into extension to give it balance to the lower back. So I'll invite you to lie on your backs. Have a cushion or bolster ready behind you. We're going to go to a supported bridge pose. So you may need a couple of cushions to do that, or even a block or bolster, something stable that gives you support on your lower back. So arrive on the mat. Your feet can be any alignment, but simply bend your knees. Slide your cushion or bolster underneath your sacrum. So the intention of this pose is to go into extension of the spine, which is the opposite direction. And your intention may be is to elongate or apply some tensile stress to your hip flexors. So in this pose, you have the option to straighten one leg or both legs to optimize the front part of body stretching sensation, as well as the extension of your lumbar spine. It's up to you. It's up to you to choose and discern what your intention is utilizing this pose. There's also an option to clasp your elbows above your head, so you're stretching the lateral side of your body and your shoulder, your front of your chest. So you're adding more sensation if this is your choosing. Should you feel intense tingling in the hand and pins and needles, and my advice is to come out from that, clasping your elbows, maybe go into a cactus shape, cactus arm. That applies less neural tension, because we do not want any sort of compression and overstretching of your nervous tissue that may cause damage. So your attention becomes useful, that your sensation will guide you to choose. And once you arrive, just be still. If your legs are straightened, slowly slide your foot up to bend the knees. Slowly. If you're in that position, stay in that position with the knees bent, and with mindful movement, slowly lifting out your buttock and slide the cushion and bolster underneath you. Put it to the side and let the whole back gently rest on the mat. Again, you can rock side to side, swing your knees from left to right, or gently hug your knees towards your chest. And also, there's always an option of knees together and knees wide, or even going to a happy baby. There's no rules. There are no rules how you want to choose your rebound. But give a little counter movement to the lower back that's being extended. Or you should choose to go into Shavasana, to complete stillness and surrender yourself to the whole mat. Slowly rolling onto your stomach whenever you're ready, however you choose to get there. We are arriving in another spinal extension in Sphinx pose. So I find it quite a nice way to clasp your elbow and really shifting the elbows in front of you, so slightly away from your shoulder girdle. That gives you a very gentle back bend. If that's too much for you, you can always lie and rest your chin on your elbow, and you're already extending your lumbar spine. Okay, that's the intention, it's extension. So of your choosing where you want to be. If you want to ease back on the flexion of your neck, you can always put your elbows together, resting your chin on your hand. That gives a very natural intensified extension. Or you can move into the traditional Sphinx pose by resting your elbow and palms and on the mat and drawing your elbows and to tuck it under you, just right under your axilla. So that gives you a more upright sensation. If this is your natural age now, staying in it. If you don't feel this the compression spine, you can rest your elbows on a cushion so that further props you up. Wherever you are, choose wisely what your lumbar spine may need this morning. I'm going to hang for a few minutes. Just reflecting on one of the most prominent feature of the Taoism from Lao Tzu. He was promoting the art of non-doing. I've been contemplating that and draw analogy from Yin Yoga. From the exterior, we're in a stillness. However, there is a intuition and wisdom that's observing the whole experience, seeing the big picture. And in that, we have the capability to discern whatever's are helpful thoughts or actions, and what are the non-helpful thoughts and non-skillful thoughts and actions, and we're able to choose in that space. So non-doing doesn't mean you give up, but it's allow that all our actions and thoughts are guided by our intention and our wisdom. And in that, we become acutely aware of our being, the whole being, and our surrounds and people around us. And that's a practice itself. Slowly ease yourself off the Sphinx pose by resting one side of your cheek on your hands. And it's quite nice to slide, wherever your head is turning, slide that knee up beside your body. So that allows less torsion of the whole spine, so you can keep the spine as neutral as possible. Should you choose, you can rest the other side of your cheek to give a balance. And if you do that, slide the opposite knee beside your body. We're going to introduce some lateral bending of the spine by getting into banana asana, banana pose. So you can roll yourself on your back. In Shavasana. I find it quite nice to hold on to the opposite side of my elbow, and that's slide with the hips in the same space. Slide your upper body towards the left, so you're applying some natural bending, that stretching of the tissue on the right side. Once you find the comfortable edge, there's no need to rush, because this is the first step. The intention is to feel the lateral stretch on your right side. The top of your IT band and your quadratus lumborum, and maybe the trunk muscles. And to adding more lateral stretch, your feet can start walking to the left side, the same side as well, so you can shuffle your feet. I find it quite nice to either hook my right heel on top of the left ankle to deepen the sensation, or to actually hook my left heel onto the right ankle to actually anchor the lower part of the body to stay in there. So whatever you're choosing that gives you that desired intention in this pose. So you attend to the parts of your body you want to work on and choose whatever positions you end up in. Again, if you feel tingling, quite intense tingling in the fingertips, that's possibly too much neurotension, and you can always ease your hand off to unclasp your elbows into cactus shape, or just simply drape your arms beside your body. When we start to make our way out of this pose, I want us to pay attention to the sensation easing out. So whenever you're ready, come up to neutral Shavasana. What does the body feel like in those parts of the body which are stressed? Our attention applies in the pose and also coming in and out of the pose. What's your experience like? We're not gonna stay in Shavasana too long until we start easing to the other side. You can choose to hold on your opposite elbows again and shift your upper body to the right until you arrive on that natural edge. The stress of the left side of the body. If you're generally very flexible in the soft tissue there, you may feel compression on the right side of the body. Can you discern the different sensations you create? And once you find your edge in the upper body, walk your feet to the right side as well. And in here, you choose to stay in or put one heel on top of the other ankle of your choosing. Whatever reach the desired sensation that you intend to create. Observe your edge, your physical edge and the emotional edge. Observe whatever emotions arising from this moment, able to discern whether they are useful emotions or not. To practice kindness and compassion, if the emotions or the physical sensations are overwhelming, you have the power to choose to come out of this pose, or ease back or adapt. That's what a non-doing, the art of non-doing is in life. Coming out from this pose slowly into a neutral spine, observe the sensation you create to that part of the body, and contemplate maybe the different sensations and experience between left and right side. And through that, you get to know your body better. You get to know yourself better. We're gonna finish by doing one more pose, supine twist. If you have clasped your elbows above your head in a banana asana, maybe you can choose a more gentle option by creating a T shape. Palms can face down or up. You can go cactus arm, or just the arms away from your body to create space. Bend your knees up, slide your heels to your buttock, and simply just drape the knees to one side. Depends on your biology. Your knees may be hovering in the air, like mine is. I have the agency to choose to see if I can use one hand to stabilize both knees. The intention is to rotate the spine. And you'll find if you bend your knees higher towards your chest, you're actually stressing the higher up of your lumbar spine, or even your lower thoracic spine. But if your knees are relatively straight, you may stress on the side of your hip and isolated rotation stress on your lower part of your spine. If you want to add on to the intensity of the rotation, your head can turn to the opposite side. If you want to stretch the side part of the body, you can raise your hand above your head. Depends on your intention in this pose. Mindfully returning to your neutral. You have the ability to choose how you want to do this rebound. Maybe invite gentle rotation side to side, knees to chest, and rocking back and forth and left to right, knees apart, knees together, and start observing the sensation in the rebound pose after the in pose, before you arrive at the other side. Whenever you're ready, take yourself there. Left and right is usually different, whatever you're choosing. When you're ready, you can start to guide yourself to Shavasana via whatever additional movement that your body needs. Maybe knees to the chest, give a gentle rock left and right, or a gentle bridge that allows you to rest in the final pose in Shavasana in your back. This is the time that your body can cool down further, so you can choose to cover yourself in the blanket. So you can comfortably rest in that pose for a moment. Come back to your intention from attending this moment, spending an hour to attend to your body and self. What's your intention for this practice? And bring your attention to your experience, the overall experience, without judgment and further analysis. Just to step back and watch the whole experience as a whole. And then attend to your breath. That usually associate to our mind. So sometimes asking yourself how you're breathing, it's a direct reflection of your state of being. Shift your awareness of the whole body, all parts of the body that's in contact with the mat, the back of your skull, your shoulder blades, your spine, the back of your thighs, your calves, your heels, the back of your hands, knuckles, elbows. Fully supported in this moment by the earth.
the trust of the safety in this space. Soften the front body to the back body. With gentleness, start to bring awareness to the space you're occupying, the sound in the room, outside the house. Shift your awareness to your whole body. You can invite movement in your toes, your fingers, and it may be nice to take a deep breath to raise your hands above your head and stretch your toes and give a very welcoming movement in that full stretch of the whole body before you curl into a ball and roll onto one side. Stay there for a couple breaths. A gesture to give yourself gratitude for this moment and that you're completely with this moment and your body and your breath and your thoughts. Before we shift our attention to the external world, whenever you're ready, prop yourself to the seated position at your pace. Maybe with the eyes still closed. One last, raise your arms to the ceiling, palms into prayer position. Give peace to the world and shift your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows. Compassion to people around you and the world, and shift your prayer position to your sternum. Love to yourself and people around you in this world. Thank you for joining this practice with me.